Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I'm going to let you know what happened on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season Sweet 16, episode 7. Lucky number 7. That's what they say about 7. It's a lucky number, I guess. All the hoopla has come out about the incidents between Kenya and Brit. A lot of opinions have been said, have been made. I wasn't going to put out my opinion about what Kenya said on her confessions video that finally came out Saturday morning. But listen, on my last review of this show, I pointed out my disappointment with Kenya and how it would have been suitable, more apropos for her to, I guess, leave that alone, not even go there with the revenge or the retaliation of it all, and just play up the fact of her life being threatened by her castmate. I mean, for me, that adds a lot more weight than what she chose to do with those shenanigans. See, there's always some shenanigans getting folks in trouble, and she's too old for that. Way too old, got too much to lose, and I just don't think she weighed it out properly. I mean, I still don't understand how what she did could factor in as protection from what she heard her castmates say. It wasn't just her hearing it. Apparently, like she said, she went to production that night, her and her other coworker, Porsha. I don't know, it's something, I don't know, maybe we're not privy to something. Something just doesn't add up as to why Brit wasn't taken care of in a similar fashion like Kenya for what was said, because can't nobody go to work and say those things to their coworker. I agree with Kenya on that part. Like, not their job can go and have those threats of violence said. And we heard what she said. It ain't like we didn't hear it when production captured it for us to watch. Was it episode 4, 3? So yeah, it's perhaps we're not privy to something that has been done by or said by Kenya. I don't know. Some just don't add up. But we weren't there. We're not privy to all of the intricate details. So trust the process is what we know, right? All I know is Kenya should have did what she did. She should have played up the fact of her life being threatened. And you know how Kenya be putting 20 on 2. I think that would have worked a hell of a lot better than what she did. I mean, shoot. Anyway, because not filming, not being paid, being told, or people saying that she fired and carrying on, and she going on apology tours, and it would have been the other way around, boo-boo. It would have been Brit doing all those apology tours and trying to, film again or questioning why. Child, listen. Kenya, like Cynthia said, you are better than this. And when your own team is telling you or your own, folks are telling you that, you effed up. Not even on the promo. See, you see it right there. Where's Kenya? I see. Is that Brit on the left? Then Angela, Porsha, Shamia, Drew, and yeah, like dang, they took her off promo. Child, that hell no. I ain't about to get rid of my good paying job for nobody. And please believe me. Hell to the no. So let's just move on with this review. I guess that's me giving my summation. All this this is Kenya's confessions. I guess. Well, I guess we're just gonna start off with episode lucky number 7, babe. So we start off with Brit and her husband buying her a new car. She's flaunting the fact that her husband promised to buy her a new car every 2 years. But I think it's more or less a lease, ain't it? Don't you lease a car every 2 years? I mean, who buys a car? Now, I'm not wealthy, nor am I rich. I'm average, girl, child, please. But I always knew it, a new car every 2 years was somewhat of a lease. Anyway, while she's trying out all these sports vehicles, she's making a fool out of herself, according to her husband, by throwing her leg up, talking about all the things that can be done in a vehicle, and then go to her confession. She's talking about having sex in the car. Wrong road. Weren't you just embarrassed to the hilt about, you being in compromising positions, and now you putting yourself in a compromising position out in the open in front of a stranger, and then you threw the leg up for him to view what's in between your legs. Girl, listen, maybe ain't nothing changed in some videos. I mean, if I was the one going through the motions, crying and snot carrying on about exposing my stuff that I had going on, I wouldn't be doing that. Just saying. Next, we see Drew. But it's Angela. Angela calls out Drew for not being Michael Jordan's cousin, as Drew being Bella. Girl, I was thinking maybe I should just choose embellishing instead of lies being told by Drew. Embellishing by Drew. I mean, remember when Drew said she was Michael Jordan's cousin? Her maiden name is Jordan, and they're both from Chicago. So then Drew was like, girl, just playing. I like to tell jokes, but flashback to production, she did not indicate that was a joke. She was 10 toes. And so Andrew was like, girl, Drew be lying. So that's the whole thing now. Drew be lying. Embellished by Drew. Child. So then they're talking about how bad the brunch food was. They down to Kelly's sunflower get together, trying to honor Brit and cheer her up. Girl. Now the worst thing you can have is some uncooked grits in your mouth. Because don't nobody put a tiny bit in their mouth. When they put grits in their mouth, they can't talk. So you got a mouth full of rocks, essentially. You're like, what in the... Now, I've done that before, thinking I was doing something way back in the day. No. I know how to cook grits now, babies. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, apparently the grits taste like wood. Oh, Angela, I guess. Next we see Cynthia visits Kelly. And then Porsha comes over and Shamia too. So it was a cute little something. And they're just going back and forth between scenes, right? So, like I said, Porsha's there. And then Porsha kind of asked about what happened at the peace brunch. Well, they said it wasn't so peaceful, child. They said Brit went off, her and Andrew's going back and forth. And baby, it wasn't too cute. Like, oh, I guess. But wait, they go back to Brit. says because of Kenya, she's being investigated. Girl, that was a lie. Can't nobody start to investigate you over something that was done just a few days ago. How did her how did Brit's accreditation organization catch wind of that? And so because of that, she's being investigated. And then talks about how Angela's not a girl's girl. All because Angela questioned, well, what was the just cause for you to be investigated? Yeah, so it would have been real easy to say yada yada yada, but Brit is I think she's lying. Because what has come out about the supposed real life investigation was due to some possible Ponzi scheme situations Brit was a part of, not necessarily the issue of her having, stuff going on in the past that Kenya exposed. Now, there are certain ethical clauses that are with certain professions. But we got ex-prostitutes. We got, current strippers. We got all these, and we've seen it so many time and time again. All these different women going into the real estate business who have similar past current situations too, and they're still doing the job. So if that was the case, what makes Brit so special in that regard? I mean, stripping, having some, photos on the net, performing adult activities, all that runs in the same circle. So, again, what makes Brit so special in that regard? So, Angela and Drew keep talking about the divorce drama. And listen, we're going to find out a little bit more about the divorce drama toward the end of the show. I was like, oops, see, I told you. Drew really can't be trusted. Listen, I'm a girl's girl. Don't get me wrong. But both of them toe up and tried as far as I'm concerned. But what Drew did later was really off the chain. But we're gonna get into it later. So while Porsha and Cynthia is inside, chatting about the drama with Drew, Shamia and them and Kelly is, just trying to ascertain where are you guys? And Portia's like, listen, I'm inviting almost everybody besides Drew, everybody but Drew, to Nashville to celebrate her birthday. And she don't want no issues. She wants to have a good time with people who she wants to have a good time with. And Drew is not coming. They're like, really? What happened? What happened? Well, no, it just ain't happening. So apparently, while they're talking about that flashback to a Zoom call where Porsha is telling everybody about her birthday trip, Angela is asking Porsha in a Zoom call, what about Drew? Yada, yada, yada. And Portia's like, okay, apparently everybody except Angela is not on mute. Angela, you're on mute at this point. Anywho, so flashing back to the conversation with Angela and Drew. Tying in the trip to Nashville, Angela is telling Drew, even though Porsha said that you could not come, I am inviting you as my plus one. See, where she learned that from? I know good and H well she wouldn't do that with her husband, Charles. But Charles would probably read her for filth had that been him. We know about him already, Charles. He don't play no games. Angela, that's not how we do, boo. That's just not how we do. And in fact, it's not up to you. You're not a peacemaker. In fact, you got into it with Brit instead of diffusing the situation. You engaged in the shenanigans with Brit when Brit was telling you off at Kelly's party when you just simply asked her what was just cause for the investigation and to taking your license. So we're gonna need for you to, pipe down and just follow what's going on because you're not the peacemaker. your brain power doesn't lend that type of hand from what I've seen thus far. Now, if you're trying to exercise that, I would suggest you start with your husband because he runs you ragged. It's obvious that you are in no competition with your man when it comes to brain power because he be having you going left and right, up and down circles when just in conversation. I can imagine when it's a deeper conversation, just how aloof you appear. But in this instance, you are wrong. Stop inviting people to a trip that you didn't put on. And secondly, stop antagonizing the person putting on a trip. It's a birthday celebration. Ain't nobody got time to trying to mend fences with somebody that she don't see it for. I wish you would do that with me, girl. Now, see, that was a quick little read that you should have did with Brit. Instead of engaging in a shenanigan. I'm just saying, babe. Angela, I don't really see it for you. But we're going to find out. Anyway, like I said, Angela invites Drew. But Drew was like, I don't know. I'm going to need to hear from Porsha because I ain't trying to get into no issue. I know that's right, Drew. Don't be setting me up for no failure coming into a house where the host don't want to see me. Girl, where they do that at? After all that night shenanigans, everybody go home and whatnot. Next, we see a few little small vignettes. You know my favorite word, vignette and vignette. We see a small little vignette with Kelly teaching Chloe how to drive in parallel parks. I get it. I was like that too many, many moons ago. But yeah. Ray love the kids. Bless her heart. And then we see Shami in the studio working them lungs, working them vocal cords, sound like me. Anywho, then we see Angela talking to her kids about her nose. Now, see, here we go. Even the kids be reading her. I mean, so apparently she had a little nose debacle to where when she first got her, this is what she said, when she first got her nose done, it was a little too pinched, Whoville teeth. And so she was told to get some Botox to, fatten it up. I'm like, girl, you just want to. Anyway, so then her kids were looking at her face and she was asking them how does she look and everything. And the boy was like, Child, little girl, I don't even think she said anything. And I'm just like, listen, I don't really pay attention to the kids too much. But The little son reminds me of Ashton over there on Marriage and Medicine. Child. I wonder if they know each other. I don't know. I think the little boy too small to be around Ashton's age. But anyway, next we see Cynthia visit Porsha talking about Simon, and just Cynthia was going on and about. I just can't believe what's been going on, child. I mean, all I remember was you was putting, trying to ascertain and be a good wife and trying to be his piece. Yeah, Portia's like, yeah, I was just, trying to put out there in the universe on social media, be his piece. Girl, is that what we doing? Well, when you go around taking other women's men and carrying on and philandering with other, with your so-called associates or friends, men, husbands, that's what happened. I mean, who ain't thinking that word karma is just running this course? I mean, come on down, girl. Bye. So now we have a full-fledged on scene. Drew meets up with Brit for lunch. I think we knew that they were going to meet up from previous conversations. Drew said she was taken aback as to why celebrating King and Not Filming was being discussed by you. They were talking about at Kelly's brunch, and Drew was just surprised that Brit was reveling in the fact that King is no longer around and she's here. So let's just move on with that. And a bit of stuff, a little calculating. A little payback, get back ish. At the same time, I thought you were so damn distraught. Why are you worrying about her? That's not, I wouldn't even bring Kenya up. I wouldn't even say nothing about her. Unless it's brought up to me, I would not bring her name up. I thought it was so devastating. I'm just saying. I mean, So to answer that, Brit was just saying, well, it's a fact. I'm here and she's not. So then Drew asked her, well, do you sell it? Brit was like, what, huh? Drew was like, do you sell cat? Like, are you a prostitute? Girl, I must about died to the floor when she asked it. And Brit was like shocked, like she would answer that. Girl, I mean, why not? I mean, Drew don't know her. Drew's like, I'm getting to know you. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what's going on. And then Drew was like, I think I know who that dick belongs to. And Brit was like, oh, so you sucked it too? Drew was like, listen, I think I may know who that is, but again, maybe that's Drew just playing a joke like she did with Angela, talking about Drew is Michael Jordan's cousin. I don't know, child. But Drew said she likes to joke around. Child, Drew, shut up. Tell the truth. Because ain't no people don't think you boy who cry wolf all the doggone time. Can you have a conversation and just be truthful in it? Golly. Anyway, so next we see the stuff with Drew and Ralph. Child, this was this was some tea. T-E-A. T. So Drew and Ralph going to court. They're getting ready to go to court. They're both leaving the house. Ralph and his team takes an Uber. Drew comes outside to find that Ralph took an Uber. She's like, oh, shoot. Like she wanted to get to the court first or something. I don't know, child. I'm like, who putting on an alarm on the house? If y'all just leaving all willing, child, anyway. So the whole point of contention with Drew's side is this, that to get Ralph out of the house, to know his finances and get child support, and 3, to keep the divorce sealed. That's the whole point of contention with Drew. That's the point as to why they're going to court today. Child, backfire. Backfire. So yeah, so that was quick. We find out what they going, they're leaving for court and find out what it was. But for Ralph, his whole situation was to stay in the house, be in the house with his children and open up the divorce because he wants transparency. He says it's too, how can I say, it'll be too devastating on his side, and he'll look worse in all of this due to what's been transpiring already if there's no transparency. So that's why he wanted their divorce paperwork to be opened. Perhaps that'll show some more lies being told and possibly some more embellishments. Just saying, because if how Drew puts it so far, and when they interviewed her, oh, she looked real stunning in her confessional. Like, what was she doing? She filming something else besides this? Anyway, the way Drew's been putting it is that a lot of the devastation to their marriage was due to Ralph being caught cheating by this means and that means, and it's all in the court papers, and that nothing in the court paperwork is jarring for her side. But child, we're gonna find out because we're gonna be on it looking for the court papers. Anyway. So when the court was over, Drew and her team are in the vehicle. They see Ralph and his team standing over there in the shade under a tree. And she rolls her window down and called him a dumbass. She said, you're a dumbass. So what happened in court today? Oh, now that don't look good. You on film cussing the man out and that may go against the court order, girl. You that upset? I guess something's about to be revealed about Drew she don't want out. That's the only thing I can think of because it don't make no sense. I mean, girl, where was how come your attorney ain't riding with you? Girl, anywho, so next we see the ladies traveling to Nashville, getting on a plane. Angela missed her flight. Talking about was traffic and carrying on, so she missed it. So she coming right up behind them. So they get to the Heezy and they picking rooms. Angela wants Drew to come. She finally, comes in and she's sitting down and everything. And like I said, she wants Drew to come, but Porsha is not happy about it. Now, of course, Porsha has other friends there, and they're just kind of, riding Porsha's coattail and just kind of, attacking Angela. Not like, bitch, you fucking, no, nothing like that. Just going off on Angela, letting Angela know that it's not cool to be inviting people that Porsha don't want there. Who are you? This is not your trip. Shamia was pretty much in her confessional saying the same thing, but she wasn't joining in on the hyenas going in over to Angela. Now, child, Angela talking about she want to be the mediator. Like I said earlier, you get in the fray of things and your brain power and matter so far has not proven to me that you should mediate any doggone thing. Because even during that melee of Porsha's friends calling you out for, trying to mess up the trip, you could have diffused that too, but you didn't. You just took your tail between your legs and just smirked and tilted your head to the side. Girl, that shows weakness, and can't no mediator be showing weakness. I'm just saying. Angela, you the oldest one. I think Cynthia's the oldest. I don't know, something about Angela tells me that she a good 50. Just saying. Anywho, what else happened, child? Oh, somebody said on this show, I heard that Angela was cheated on and had a baby on her. That's what Brit was saying when she was talking to I forget who she was talking to. But the fact that Brit would say that about Angela, I mean, that was real trifling of Brit to say some mess like that. I'm just saying, that's going to be a point of contention as well. But like I said, in episode 1, maybe episode 2, when Angela mentioned, and that's Charles' daughter, I'm going to go back. If you're not, okay, go back to my first review, episode 1, when they were discussing Angela's home life situation. And then we're going to see exactly what she said about Charles and all of their kids, right? Because she already said her 24-year-old was before Charles. So as a matter of fact, I went and pulled this little clip that I mentioned about the cheering between Angela and Charles. Now, like I said, Brit was talking greasy about Angela because Angela, questioned why Brit was being investigated. And Brit went ahead and said that Charles had a baby on Angela. And I'm like, huh. So I went and pulled this clip. Now, you be the judge. Just listen to what Angela said about their family dynamic with their cheering.
We shared 4 beautiful children. I have Amari, who's 24, Aiden, who's 11, Charles has Charlie Jr., and we shared Harley, who's 7.
So, how old is Charlie Jr.? And why ain't he being discussed? Because we know the 3 out of the 4 is whom we've seen thus far. We ain't never seen Charlie Jr. And even in the pics that they were flashing, the family photos, Charlie Jr. was not in them. Uh-oh, y'all. Uh-oh. PI services going into action. So, yeah, I questioned it. And I said, well, did he have a baby on her? Because Amari's 24, Angela said she had her way before she met Charles. Then they have the 11-year-old boy. Well, they got married in 2016. That was 9 years ago. So they got the 11. They got the 11-year-old boy, Charlie Jr. This is how she said their names. So to me, she's putting them in age order. That's what we normally do. We think about the ages of the cheering. So Amari, who's 24, the little boy, I forget his name, he's 11. Charlie Jr., she didn't say a name. They didn't flash the picture, like I said, or age. And then the little girl, the baby girl, who's 7. But in the picture, they said the 7-year-old was Charles and Angela's daughter. It's just kind of, it's a little off the way that they have, because they didn't say Amari. Well, did they say Amari was, anyway, it's just, who is Charles Jr.? Now I want to know. Like I said in, what was it, episode 2, in my review of episode 2, who the hell is Charlie? Is that why that was a point of contention in their marriage back in 2016, 2015? Girl. That may come into play later on, but Brit brought it up. But then again, I was wondering back 5 episodes ago. Anyway, so back to this Nashville trip. So they're just talking, trying to work out some things, and Angela kind of backed down from the group with talking about Drew. So what's her name? Looking at my notes, child. Angela calls Drew and got, Drew was all upset, got her panties in a bunch because of court a couple of days ago. She don't know if she wants to go. I guess. Transparency. Next, we see ladies go out. They go to one of them bars where they got to ride the bull. And of course, everybody want to flex what they do in the bedroom. These heifers, I swear, they just can't go nowhere and be ladies. I mean, they just got to be all out. They got a good spread, Q, potato salad, beans and greens and you name it. It's all on everybody's plate and carrying on. The food look good. Oh, it's barbecue. About to be barbecue season. Ooh, summertime is coming. Yes. Eating up, y'all. Oh, it felt good today. I was out there at the winery today. I was at the winery both days this weekend. 2 different wineries. One with my girl painting and sipping. And the other today, I was out there enjoying myself as I normally do. Oh, I had such a good time. Oh, great wine. People watching, enjoying my entertainment. Had a real good dinner. Had some sea bass. I tasted the mashed potatoes, but it was like a puree. It was just a little, this one takes its mashed potato. See how I do. Nah. Then I had some scallops with it was a little bland. I mean, actually, the tomato sauce situation that it was sitting in was a little bland, if you ask me. And it had these extra crispy pieces of bacon on top. Just a couple of pieces, I guess, for garnish. But the scallop itself was seasoned well. And then my favorite, they call it coles de Brussels, like the leaves of the Brussels are all taken off and sauteed in a dark vinaigrette. Ooh, my mouth watering, child. And toppled with pomegranate seeds and feta cheese. But I don't like feta, so I don't get the feta. And it was just so delicious. Oh! And then a couple of times they had the inner parts of the Brussels in it. So you had a little chunk here and there. Ooh, I've been like a Brussels sprouts since I was little. Let me tell you right now. But yeah, I had a cute little time today. Yes. Very relaxing. Even the ride to and fro was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. Traffic here and there, but ooh, it was great out there in Temecula. Yes, baby. Wine country, the Southern California wine country. Up north is Napa now, all that stuff. Anyway, so they're out there eating their food at the cute spot and everything. And child. They're just having a good old time. But Drew and Allison celebrating with Dennis at his bar. A record deal has been secured. And I don't think Drew is coming. She's, gotten her, she's gotten lifted a little bit, with the devastating news in court. So luckily, she has secured a record deal with the help of Dennis. Like I said, so in Nashville, ladies going out bull riding and carrying on. And Angela only thinks making up with Drew on this trip. And I'm like, what, Angela, leave it alone, girl. Leave it alone. So Porsha explains to her friends a little bit more about why she and Drew aren't cool. Somebody had the audacity to say that Drew gave Dennis a BJ. Now, I'll be dipped and damned because Porsha has made it known to people that BJs are Dennis's thing. And she mentioned how every time she would catch Dennis in a lie about a woman, he's like, she just gave me a BJ. So I guess now we know why Porsha's mouth is so integral. I'm just saying, I mean, listen, we grown over here. Hey, aunties and aunts, if it's kids around, you already know. I've been said kids ain't welcome over. Look, Ray love the kids. Don't get me wrong. Ray love the kids. But this is grown folk conversation. Yeah, we, whenever we know there's, a gutter snipe around, gold digging huzzy, man stealing huzzy, they always use their mouth to secure the bag for the most part. Because listen, men love them a good BJ no matter what sexual orientation. They want they BJ. Better give a doggone who doing it. If you like whoever doing it, you want them to do it. Now Ray has lived. Let me tell you right now, I'm good and grown, and I might be able to, attest to this. A good penetration is all, but they're still penetrating when they're getting a BJ. If you get my drift, I'm just saying, BJs are all. I never heard of a man turn down a BJ. That's all I got to say. I never heard of a man, not even if it wasn't mine. I'm hearing through the grapevine, watching it on TV, either it's reality or scripted, whatever the case may be. Ain't no man gonna turn down a BJ. Now, there's certain circumstances where they probably would, but for the most part, no. You kidding me? Girl. Anyway, so I just can't believe Porsha said that, but she talking about her baby daddy, so it is what I guess all bets is off since he filming with Drew on the show. That she can just say whatever she gonna say about him. But anywho. So again, they're going back at Angela, and Porsha says, that's Dennis's thing, but to even say that about Drew was really trifling. And Brit says that's enough on Drew. That's not even cool, girl. So now you want to take up for everybody who are affiliated with BJs. That show BJ was put out in the open, girl. That was funny. Anyway, that was it, y'all, for episode 7. Oh, Lord. That was it for episode 7, y'all. But yeah. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sweet 16, episode 7. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.